Welcome to More Organised, Less Clutter, a podcast to empower individuals and neurodivergent families with practical, realistic tools to create a more organised, sensory-friendly, clutter-free and intentional home that works with your lifestyle and brain, not against it. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser and neurodivergent mum who understands the unique challenges of family life. I help people just like you simplify your space, build sustainable organisational systems, and create more breathing room physically and mentally. Every fortnight, you'll hear solo episodes and guest conversations filled with practical strategies on decluttering, home organisation, routines for neurodivergent families, mindful living, and how to build a home that feels safe, calm and functional. You'll walk away with actionable takeaways you can implement even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode where I'll be sharing things you might not expect professional organisers can do. These can be really helpful for neurodivergent individuals and families who struggle with executive function and also want to reduce decision fatigue. So picture this. Last Friday, my client said, I can't make decisions today. So here's what we still did. No decisions required, a decision-free Friday for her. So we looked at storage spaces, in particular, a place that she wanted to put her dog food, and the container needed to fit the entire dog food bag. And I'd measured the area and then we found the perfect solution. We measured furniture to sell on Facebook Marketplace and I researched the prices, also took the photos and the measurements so it was ready for her just to post it. We created checklists for the next week on her Skylight calendar and also added some meal ideas to the Skylight calendar, and her children actually helped with that particular task. Then we identified some other frustration points and looked at some simple solutions for helping her teens to do their own laundry. So even on a low capacity day, progress is possible. So when someone else holds the plan, you don't need to be on for the progress to actually happen. We can keep it moving gently as professional organisers. So today I am sharing things you might not expect professional organisers to do. I've got 5 broad categories and just some ideas under each of those. You might be even surprised and be like, I actually need help doing that myself. So number 1, systems built around reality. What's actually happening in your home and that's going to support you. So it's not how you think you should, and there's no shame, and it's just support. We look at everyday systems and processes in your home that aren't working and maybe make some suggestions of small little changes that could help. So some of the processes and systems we do look at is definitely laundry and the flow, and if it actually gets finished the whole way from washing to putting away. Dishes, we help with making sure that they don't stay in the sink. And there's different strategies that we can use to help you set up a process, making sure you have maybe regular cleaning and maintenance that's actually doable. So there's some suggestions of different ideas that might work with your family or you as an individual. Meal planning that also matches your energy, your finances, and also what food that you might be eating at the moment, because you might have some dietary requirements that you also need. We also help with checklists around holiday, packing, school mornings, busy weeks, and just anything you need a checklist that you're able to pull out and then look at and refer to, and it's the same. It doesn't change that much. The goal is habits that stick, but also, as I've said in previous podcast episodes, I'm about changing the environment instead of trying to change your behavior. We're going to look for clues in your environment that is showing us a system's not working and then making those small changes. Number 2 is solving everyday frustrations. So those tiny things that drain your energy, these are like the quick wins that we can try this week. So for example, a lost remote. So this is something that I've done recently. And I actually got this from another client of mine who had this problem. So she shared it with me and I've shared it with other clients now. Is getting a tile tracker sticker. So it's the brand is Tile. and then placing that onto the actual remote. And then when you have this Life 360 app on your phone, you can find where the remote is. And I've seen it in action and I was like, that is fantastic. But also maybe having a landing spot for the actual remotes to live in. Another area of frustration I see a lot of is rubbish piling up in particular bedrooms or in bathrooms as well. So it might be then just placing a small bin without the lid where the rubbish tends to pile, and then also maybe add a weekly bin emptying reminder on your phone. So I have this on a Monday night set for me because that's when we put our bins out. So I go around and clean out all the bins in everybody's room on that one night. And then it's going straight out into our big rubbish bin. Another area is like endless dirty washing, clothes washing, laundry. So it could be washing it, sorting it into actual baskets for each individual person, and then maybe folding as you put it away. Could be away, maybe it's no folding and it's putting it straight away. It's looking at that frustration and working out what's going to actually work for you. Number 3, we're trying to build gentle habits. So we focus on tiny, repeatable steps, and it's not about perfection. Maybe it's like teeth brushing. This is a great example I've had a few times, and it was getting adults, not just kids, to actually follow through and brush their teeth in the morning that they would just forget. So setting up the toothbrush holder in the shower, and that way their toothpaste is there with their toothbrush and it's a visual prompt for them. Also adding a timer so they know that the 2 minutes of brushing your teeth. And I noticed on my new toothbrush, it actually has a little vibration. So it actually tells me the 2 minutes is up. Another habit that we look at is loading and unloading the dishwasher and looking at the routines and making sure it's tied to like a daily anchor. Like it might be boiling the kettle, that's when you unpack the dishwasher, or it might be getting breakfast ready. And that's the actual anchor, the trigger for you. And then at nighttime, it might be after dinner when their plates are all on the bench that we're putting it away and we're putting the dishwasher on. The other idea I help clients with is around shared space resets. So in particular playrooms and toy spaces is like, how are we going to tidy this up? So using maybe a family 5-minute tidy with a simple checklist for everyone to follow. I have heaps of ideas around that, especially from my education background and cleaning up classrooms at the end of a session. These are just a few habits that we will work on with our clients. Number 4 is removing items so that you do not have that problem anymore. And I think this is one that some people are really surprised about. So we just handle all the details. We know all the places as to where we can take donations. It's not always just an op shop, thrift shop. There are so many other places that can take items to recycle them. So we'll be able to help you sort and then drop off those donations. We'll gather the information and draft listings for Facebook Marketplace for you or any other place that you're doing it. Maybe it's Depop, and have photos, measurements, and the description for you. We won't actually list it because then we'll get all the communication for it, but we will help you and prepare it and plan it for you. Another thing is looking at all the other recycling. So things like e-waste, cardboard, and recycled textiles. We can take e-waste and cardboard for free because it can be recycled. The recycled textiles is a small fee, but it gets then sent to apparel here in Australia, which makes it into a UpTech is their product that it can be recycled for so many different things. Number 5 is finishing tasks you don't have brain space for. So I will see this regularly when I come into clients that they're like, I've got these items, for example, the Facebook Marketplace, they haven't been sold, but it's like getting the photo measurements and descriptions and helping them to maybe research it. I had a client a few years ago, and it was all the musical instruments that her husband, who had passed, had. And so we were researching and finding places that would actually take these items for her and also give her a reasonable price for them. We'll also measure the furniture and rooms so that you can actually purchase something that's going to fit. I do find that in particular with my clients that have ADHD, that they may buy something and it doesn't fit because they forgot to measure it. Before doing this job, I definitely did that myself. So it's looking at things like display for Lego. That's definitely a common one. Maybe it's like toy storage or wardrobes, finding solutions to increase the storage within a wardrobe. So doing that research for you, also because I already have a lot of ideas from working with so many other people, the research is not so taxing on myself because I already have some ideas of where to go to and some suggestions. So we can research it depending on your home, your budget, even your sensory needs. So some examples are storage of bikes and tools, and looking at like a shed and making sure we have the measurements so it's actually going to fit your space. The inserts that can go into cupboards to make them more like a drawer is another item that we definitely help measure and find that's going to be the most appropriate to utilize that space. Another thing we can do is also just go and revisit tricky areas to tidy, reset, and that means we're not starting from scratch. So if you're having a low capacity day and you can't decide, we can still progress without decisions. We can measure, label and reset, clear rubbish, and then sort the recycling, even cut down cardboard boxes, which makes it so much easier to put into your rubbish bin, tidy one surface, maybe a kitchen bench for you, putting everything back in its home and then seeing which items don't have a home, but leaving that to do the next time, creating checklists for your routines, and documenting those pain points and proposing some of those solutions that are going to help you. So if today's ideas spark something for you, reach out. If you want help with systems, selling items, storage that actually fits, or gentle habit building, reach out. I'd love to support you. And some of these things could be done virtually, so it doesn't have to be in person. Thanks for listening to More Organised, Less Clutter. And if this helped, maybe share it with a friend or leave a quick review. It really supports the podcast. Thanks for listening to today's episode of More Organised, Less Clutter. If you find yourself wasting precious time searching for misplaced items and wishing for a more organised life, then you need my 5-minute declutter ebook, the ultimate guide to quick and easy organising solutions for a clutter-free and happy home. Forget about spending months KonMariing your house. These fun solutions are designed to give you immediate results in under 5 minutes. Head over to Simply Happy in the resource section and download your free copy and start seeing results in minutes. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.